Hmm. Good morning. All right. What's up, Vladimir? Okay, let's check some key levels today. Wanted to ask a quick question. Yesterday we did anatomy of a trade. We kept the sh segment pretty short and sweet. I'd like to kind of get right into the anatomy of the trade today, and let's revisit credit spreads. Okay. Um, I want to do an example of a credit spread, see if we kind of get the idea, and then I'd like to throw in a debit spread today and just kind of break things down. We'll use it really simply on like SPX or SPY, so we're kind of trading, one instrument. All these examples can kind of use one instrument, so we can apply it across the board. But let's talk anatomy of a trade. Yesterday, to recap, we did the SPX, so I'll use this as an example. Okay, so I had my notes from yesterday. VIX this morning around 16.29. So I'm going to get my rough levels. My software is showing 6,400, potentially the highest level of the day. Again, we've had a lot of noise this week. If you look back at where we are, okay, 6,400 SPX, does that get us to the high? Does it get us to the high? No, it doesn't. So even if we do rally to 6,400 today, find this liquidity level, it doesn't get us to the highs at 27. Now, based on the VIX at 16.3, this was the close yesterday. 16.3, depending on what the VIX does this morning, 16.3. So 1.02. I'm going to round up to 1.02. So from yesterday's close, 1.02 puts us around 64.05. Okay. And that potential top could be adjusted if we gap higher. So I'd have like a potential top and then like a modified based on opening bell price. But 6,400 should be a pretty good ceiling to be selling today. So if I could sell, I mean, this is why it was so nice to sell yesterday. Um, what did we sell? 64.10, 64.15. And we started way up here at 90. So we weren't that far off, but price cooperated pretty nicely by just, you know, falling. I mean, going directionally bearish. By the time this thing was, I don't know, 10:45, 11 a.m. Eastern time, we were at like 95% profit of our bear call spread. So there you go, Bob. Love hearing that, man. Best ever 4K on the day. Oh, nice work, Bob. That's good trading. That feels good. Not gonna lie. And then 1.01 to the downside. We're looking at 62.70, 62.75. Okay, and these can get modified just based on if the VIX is going up or down. But I'm still going to be looking to fade the calculated levels. So, price being lower than where it was yesterday, starting around 63.40, futures up about 0.2%. So we probably will have a bit of a gap. I'll get to the anatomy of trade here in just a few minutes. I'm just getting my daily levels. Real quick, for anybody that is new to daily profit play, and I mean the actual alerts, not this. I mean this session. These sessions are pretty new for 2 weeks. The daily profit plan. But if you're new to my daily profit play, I did post this video. I keep posting this video. I've got a bunch of new members that have come into the service, so I keep posting this video. Core strategy video. It's 30 minutes, and it talks about the 4 key strategies that we deploy each and every day. Sometimes we deploy it so we're directionally neutral. Sometimes we deploy so we're getting a directional play, and then other times we're looking at where the highs and lows are for the day. Okay, so really easy ways to kind of map out the day, but there's 4 key strategies that like every daily profit member to have right here, right? So if you jump into the service, check out that video. Let me know if you come into Daily Profit Play alerts, if you can see the history of my Telegram channel. Because if you don't, and I have more members jumping in today, then I'll post this again around noon. I also posted a masterclass. Deanna, can you confirm that we had a masterclass posted this week? If I
Oh,
go
yes,
in,
it is.
okay, so if you go into your one-click trading, let me log in here.
It's under masterclass. They'll see it. I can move
Okay.
it up if needed.
No, it's fine. I mean, masterclass is what I want to make sure it's in. I'm just gonna get logged in and show it. So I'm logging into my classroom. Here we go. Does daily profit play have several trades a day? It certainly can. Yesterday was kind of nice to have. I posted two trades yesterday, and it was two winners. So far this week we're 10 for 10. We've had a pretty good week. So I mean I'm pretty active. I mean look, it's a daily income strategy. So it's two things, right? Daily income and whatever it takes to get the daily income and whatever it takes to manage risk on the day. Like that's what this entire service is about. If I'm going to be in front of my computer to try to grind out some profits, I'm trying to do it the best way I can. Okay. All right, let's go into the classroom here. Let's go master classes. Here is your one-click trading portal for Daily Profit Play members. We have Daily Profit Play
Oh, other
trade
one.
rooms. Yep. Go to master classes, master class recordings.
There you
There
go.
it is. So August 5th, fancy shirt, 59 minutes. We had a live class this week. It was on Tuesday. So two things I would say. You come into the service, check out this video in Telegram. It's 30 minutes long, and watch the masterclass. Okay, that's going to be the fastest way to get caught up to speed with our core strategies, how we plan out our day, how we game plan, and so far we've been killing it. I'm not going to lie, like 93, 94% winners. That's the plan. That is the plan. I want to make money every day. That's what I'm using this service for. Okay. All right. Thanks for posting that, Diana. Yep. Lost your Telegram. Please report the link if you want the daily Telegram. Well, if you're, which one, Barbara? You talking about Daily Profit Play? Daily Profit Play Telegram is going to be in here. So you come into your classroom, and here's your Telegram access, right? Telegram join links right here, or click on the Telegram channel. That's for the alerts. So paid members get the alerts, right? If you're looking for my general Telegram, it's right here. And I post this every day in my YouTube sessions, amongst other stuff. Yeah, regular. Okay, got it. I'll post that too. Here we go. Here's regular. Regular Telegram. There's regular Telegram. Also, we have I mean, you're joining me here, so I really shouldn't have to post this link, but if you want to join me every day for this daily profit plan, there's that too. That's on you can click on that and actually just register through your phone. Okay. All right. So you got the masterclass, anatomy of the trade. We have 20 minutes before the open. I've got my intraday levels set, potential top and bottom. We're going to have a slight gap higher. Let's see. We're going to open up probably around 0.23% higher. Okay. So let's go 0.23% higher here. That's at 63.55, and 63.55 up 1.01% is going to be a potential like 64.20. I'll put modified top. Okay, so between 64.05, 64.20, those are the levels I'm going to be looking to sell for today's range. Okay, if we are gapping higher by about 0.23%, and then we fall 1.01, again, this is ballpark, but fall 1.01, that puts us down to a low of around 62.90. Okay. So some key levels I'll be watching to sell high, sell low, keep prices within the range. It's easier for me to sell high because when prices drop, VIX goes up. This can certainly shoot through those lows. Okay. I'm not saying that we're gonna have some like Black Friday or Black Monday crash type thing because obviously that rarely happens, but it certainly can. But it's rare that the market rockets to the upside beyond what's already calculated. So the VIX at 16, 16 and change, we're looking at about a 1% move. Okay. And rarely do we get there. I mean, if we have a 1% move planned, most of the time it's going to fall less than that. Okay. So truthfully, if I'm selling, 64, 64.05, 64.10, 20, if I'm lining up trades in those areas, that should be a pretty safe way to play the day. Okay. Uh, Email address, we consider adding one, keep everything in one place. I'm not sure what that question is, Kathy. Waterfall. No, no, yep, thanks, Deanna. You got that. Okay, Bill, sure. So if anybody in my services wants to contact me, my Discord, you can contact me in Discord, or I do have an email that I dedicated specifically to uh, members. That's Chris Pulver Pub at gmail.com. So if you'd like to email me, members contact me. That's the quickest email for me to check. I've got it up every single day, and then you can, hit me up in Discord too. Okay. And if you're ever contacting our team here, support at presspartypub.com. They can reach out to me anytime. We've got a Slack channel for the company, so no problem. Cool. All right. So modified top and bottoms. Let's see where things take us today. It's Friday. Discord, I'll post a link right here. I'm going to go. It's going to be good for 30 minutes. Not that any of you are going to spam me, but I'm usually pretty protective of Discord because there's just so much crap in there. My Discord is pretty clean. It's pretty much just a place for me to put content, post videos, have everyone chat with each other, but it's not like subthread, subthread, subthread. I hate Discords that look like that. So mine is just one channel for everyone to talk. You want to talk specific Forex, stocks, options, futures, it's channels to talk. Yeah, but it's like public talk. I don't like private messages. I mean, stuff like that. So anyway, that's my beef with Discord because I got people that impersonate me all the time and it's super annoying. And people are like, "Oh, I got a message from you." No, you didn't. It's not me. My communication is all in the public channels. All right, Discord. Chris, Pulver, trading, Discord. There you go. Yep. Yeah, I know. Jeffrey's got a whole, machine. He does like algos and bots and things that auto post, and that's not me. I like talking to people. So if I'm posting, it's because I'm sharing a video, I'm answering questions, I'm trying to just kind of keep it as like a broad moderation for the channel. But it's really, I built Discord initially for one place to put all my stuff, right? Links, chats. I do private instructions. So if anybody works with me like one-on-one or little small groups of like 4 to 10 for, an hour to 4 hours, I do little workshops and, affiliates and discounts. Like I've known people in the industry for a long time. So software, tools, resources, usually I get like 30 to 50% off on a lot of those things. So if that can help you out, if you want to add some tools to your trading arsenal, I have some good discounts, stuff like that. Okay. Masterclass, you want masterclass for what? Daily profit play, daily profit play member, and jump into your classroom through one-click trading. And then the masterclass is posted in the masterclass section for August 5th. We did it this week. Okay. All right. We've got about 15 minutes for the open. I want to spend a few minutes on the anatomy of the trade. So yesterday we talked about the credit spread. I'd like to review that today. Okay. So as an example, let's use this real-time example as today. Modified top. I'd like to be selling premium today, thinking that the market can't necessarily go above, okay, above these levels. Okay. So if I'm going to sell, I'm just going to use the number today. Okay. I'm going to look to sell a 64.20 call. Okay. So if I sell a 64.20 call and above that, I buy a 64.30 call. Okay. A couple of questions with this. Again, we're talking credit spreads right now. If I sell a 64.20 call and we're going to open up with actual price around 63.50. So this is a lesson time. Okay. Price is at 63.50. We're going to sell a 64.20. First question is this at the money? Is this trade at the money? Is this trade in the money? Or is this trade out of the money? Type it in the chat. Because we're talking calls, we're farther away from actual price, and the credit that we would collect is going to be way smaller if we're at the money versus out of the money. So as everyone's putting there, at the money. No, I'm sorry, out of the money, right? Out of the money, out of the money. Yeah, it's actual prices here. We're way above it with calls. That's an out of the money price. Okay, that's step number one. So are we collecting more credit had we sold at the money or less credit if we're selling out of the money? Way less credit. Okay, so an at the money trade, we could get roughly like 1-to-1. Meaning if I'm going to go 10 wide, this is a 10 wide spread, right? 64.20, 64.30 is the difference is 10. That makes it a 10 wide spread. If I did a 63.50 by 63.55, that'd be a 5 wide spread. I could probably get $2 to $3 credit on that trade. But if I go out of the money here, I might be lucky if I get like 50 cents to $1 out of this trade that's going to cost me potentially whatever the remainder is. So if I get $1 credit, let's just put up here, I get $1 credit. Okay. Now what's my risk? My risk is way higher, right? My risk would be $9. So I can pull in $1 with a high probability, right? If I sold the 64.20, the chances of it getting there is pretty slim. So I could probably keep the profit. But the risk is $9. And I keep saying this, but I think this is important to understand with how we structure trades is if you want high probability, you're going to sacrifice some reward to risk. Okay. High probability is typically set up in a way where if you're just doing mechanical trades out of the money, which the reason it works is because a lot of times the implied volatility, the market's calculated expected move is usually greater than the market's actual move, right? Which is why selling premium is a great strategy for consistency and high probabilities. But to do that, you're taking in less credit. So number one is if price is here and we're selling a call option up here, this is a bear call spread. So I sell the 64.20 and then above that I would buy the 64.30. That's a $10 difference. That makes this a 10 wide spread. Okay, so and the reason I'm talking about this is because these are some terms that you might hear me throw out, right? 10 wide spread, dollar credit. But I want to explain what it means. So because we have 10 points difference, that's a 10 wide spread, right? Let's go here. So 10 wide, bear call spread. $1 credit, just an example, which means I have max profit on that trade, and that gives me $9 risk. Okay, type in a wire yes in the chat if this makes sense. If this is actual price, I set up a bear call spread with the difference being 10. I pull in $1 credit, gives me a $9 risk. Okay, if I do the same thing thinking that my bottom today is going to be 62.25, I can sell the 75. So I sell the 62.75 put. I also go 10 wide. Everybody see that's 10 wide? So if I'm selling a put, buying below that, the difference is 10. So that's a $10 wide bull put spread. Just a silly name, but understand what I'm doing. I'm selling a put at 62.75. I'm buying below that, which is expressing to the broker my risk is anything below 62.75. If I want to win this trade, if I want to win this trade here, all price has to do is stay above 62.75 and I'll make full profit. If I want to make profit on this trade up here, all I have to do is see price stay below 64.20. Okay? How do you determine the 10 wide, 5 wide, 20 wide? That's literally just risk, David. Like, what are you comfortable risking? You know, if I risk a 10 wide spread here, let's go back to this. So if I go 10 wide spread and I pull in $1 credit, right? So that dollar credit would be my max profit, which would still give me another risk of $9. So if I put these trades together to try to call a top or a bottom on the day, I can make $2, right? If price stays below this level and stays above this level, I can make $1 here and $1 here, which gives me $2. So I can make $2. And what's $2 today? 200 bucks, right? I can make 200 bucks if I'm right and I want to let this trade run all the way to expiration. But if I'm wrong, what am I risking? $9 and $9. So I'm going to make $2 or maybe a fraction of that $2 to risk $1,800. Sometimes that doesn't sit well with people. And sometimes it doesn't sit well with me, right? Because I'm risking a lot to make this trade. Okay. But the probability of the trade is very high. Why? Because I don't think price can get necessarily above here. Unless we have a huge event in the VIX, we're probably not coming back below 62.75 either. So I'd sacrifice the risk here in order for the higher probability profit. Just an example. Okay. Now, with this trade up here, okay, these are credit spreads. Does this make sense? So what happens if I did, let's say, something more at the money? Okay. Let's say that I'm like, you know what, I'm so bearish on this market, I'm just going to sell it as soon as it opens. Okay, well, we can do this. You can do a sell 63.50 call, okay, and buy a 63.55 call. Let's say this is a at the money, and I can get $2 credit for this. Okay, so now what's that? Well, let's do the same lesson here. This is a $5 wide bear call spread, and I get $2 credit, which is potentially my max profit. And what's my risk now? $3. Right. Because it's the width of my spread minus the credit that I'm getting paid for taking the trade. So 5 minus 2, because that's my credit, gives a $3 risk. And the nice part is so somebody asking, how do you go 5 wide, 10 wide, 20 wide? If you want to risk way less money, here's a way to do it. If you want to risk way less money on this trade, if you want to risk way less money on this trade, how do you set it up? Well, obviously, you don't accept the dollar credit. If you want to risk way less on this trade, you got to put in a credit that's like, hey, broker, fill me at $3, fill me at $4, fill me at $5. So here's another question. If I put on in this trade instead of a dollar credit, if I said fill me at $5 credit, okay? So if I get filled at $5 credit on either of these two trades, what's actually happening to price? If price is right here at the open, what is price going to have to do to fill this trade? To fill this trade here for $5, what is this price going to have to do? Exactly. Bodine says it. Closer to the money, more chance of hitting. Jump up, go up. Exactly. It's going to have to go from this is an out of the money trade. Okay, this is out of the money. But if price goes up and gets into the levels of 64.20 and 64.25 and 64.30, then it becomes an at the money trade. And you can get real value of this. So if we're trading at 64.25, 64.26, I could probably get filled for that $5 and $6 credit. So if you want to take on less risk, then you have to set these levels and let price come to you. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. I have a lot of trades that I set pending in my account that are never filled because a lot of times these tops, these bottoms are never tested. Okay. So there's a balance of taking a trade to get some income, and then there's a second or third trade to like get better fills, take less risk, and get better reward potential. Does that make sense? Okay. If they get hit late in the day, do you let them expire? If they get hit late in the day, I mean, remember the whole game plan was, what am I doing this morning? The whole game plan this morning is if I'm calculating out where I think the top is going to be or the bottom is going to be, if these get hit late in the day, I'm still looking for price to react to these levels. That makes sense? I think price will use this as a guardrail for resistance and a guardrail for support. That's what I'm forecasting. That's what prices do most of the time. That's why I keep talking about the expected move. Okay? The expected move, I'll just type this instead of using my stupid mouse. The expected move is oftentimes expected move, which is created with implied volatility that the brokers already calculate for us. This is stuff that's way smarter than me. Okay. The expected move, which is the market calculated applied volatility, all the different things in the options chains, the deltas, the gammas, the vegas, the thegas, all this stupid stuff. It's like this is what makes options so ridiculously silly to learn and how confusing it all can be. But I'm trying to make it simple and approachable and practical. The brokers say this is what the market's calculated to do. That's implied volatility. That's an expected move. Okay. It's usually greater than or overstated compared to the actual. That is why selling premium is the smart money game. That is why brokers and market makers and hedge funds sell premium. That is why JP Morgan has like a quarterly ceiling and floor every single quarter because all they're doing is selling billions and billions of contracts or dollars worth of contracts to keep markets relatively contained. Okay, it's rare that the actual exceeds the expected move. Now, it does happen in a zero DT environment, but based on what I'm doing of kind of having like a one or two layer level, we look at the broker today. Okay, the broker today, and this was yesterday too. The broker expected like a 34-point move yesterday. Okay, so plus minus 34 points. The market moved 80 points yesterday. So if you look at that and you're like, oh, cool, the broker's only going to move 30 points today. I'm going to take a, 30 point out of the money trade. Well, that broker, the move yesterday like blew up, like blows you up. I mean, you can still define your risk, you can still survive the day, but if you're planning on every day, like the market's only going to move exactly what the plus minus says, you will see that there's a lot of intraday volatility. Now, to be fair, from the close, the market went up about 44 points. The market went down about 35 points. But where did the market actually settle? This is the crazy part about market making. Where did the market settle? The market was down 3 points yesterday. So that plus minus 30, even though it tested highs and tested lows, it still finished 3 points different from the previous day's close. So yes, you can have highs and lows and intraday fluctuations, but the close of the day was still inside the range, inside the guardrails, right? And that's kind of the magical stuff about these market efficiencies is this is what the markets do almost every single day. Okay. Do you change the way you trade Fridays mentally in math? No, this is the math. We've got opening bell in just a couple minutes. This is the math. So I'm still going to watch my levels. I'm just going to look to carve out some profits today. That's all. Okay. Rodney says if you sold a 64.20, bought the 64.25, still aiming at $1, would that lower your? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. So if you sold the 64.20, so Rodney's saying if I sold a 64.20 call and then I bought a 64, so if I sell the 64.20 call, buy the 64.25 call, that's a $4 wide, or I'm sorry, $5 widespread. $5 widespread. And if you still got the dollar credit, okay, that's our max profit. And the $4 is our max risk. So just like that, you've controlled your risk a little bit better. So instead of $9 risk, now we have $4 risk, right? Okay. So we're opening up around 63.55. I think we make potentially that little surge up to the 64.05. I'm going to try to do the same thing I did yesterday. If I can sell these highs, bring it on. Okay, so I'm going to go SPX this morning. Take a look here. I like the '05. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more premium for that if possible. So NVO. Let me check and see what that was. Is that a pinch point? Is that a newsbreakers? NVO just hit profit. Sweet. That was good. That was a nice win. NVO is an earnings trade. I just hit that for profit for newsbreakers, $1.93 credit. There we go. Newsbreakers. So we have trade number 73, close out for $1.93 credit. That's a nice win. That's over 100%. So 193 minus 88 divided by 88. 119% winner on newsbreakers NVO. Deanna, can we post that? Let me get you in
Oh yeah,
here.
absolutely. Are you sending me something?
Yep, I'm going to send you right now. So newsbreakers, this is trade management. It should have automatically been closed out. Newsbreakers. Let's see here. Newsbreakers, trade management. Trade 73, NVO. Entry was 88 cents debit. Closed $1.93 profit. So 119.3% return on risk. Good trade. That's closed. Okay, let's take a look here for Friday. So I'm not getting a lot of premium for my 64.05, 64. Like I'm not getting premium for these trades. However, I still like the levels. I'm still looking to sell these levels. I'm gonna kind of level into the trades today. So I can do two things. One, it's Friday. We're 10 for 10. I don't have to take a bunch of risks today. I shouldn't have to take a bunch of risks today. So what I'm gonna do is this. If I go 64.05 by 15, that's 10 wide. I do another 10 wide. Okay, so I'm going to take these as two separate trades. I'm going to go 64.05 by 15. This offers a puny little 40 cents credit. I'm really not that excited about this trade. Okay, so I'm going to set this trade up to around $3 credit. Actually, you know what? I'll take $1 credit if it's offered. So if price goes up higher, I'm going to try to get filled for a dollar on this trade, 64.05. Let's go a dollar there. And then 64, 10 by 20, try to get filled for this one for a dollar as well. So if collectively these two trades add up to $2, it'd be a very similar trade to what I took yesterday, which is selling highs and looking to see if these levels stay safe. Now that's just one part of the trade. Okay. Um, I'm looking at levels today. We do have a directional, potential push up towards 6,400. If we come back and find this like sticky zone, this is really important for like intraday prices. This HVL is high volatility. This is the flip zone between positive and negative gamma. All that means is like all the order flows of like where prices are expected to go higher, it'd be above 63.40. This is where all like the call pressure is. Below this is going to be all the put pressure. So that kind of pivot point is this 63.40. I see a lot of times intraday, price goes up a little bit, down a little bit, and then kind of hangs out with at least respecting that high volatility zone. So I have that on this software, and I also have it on this software. So I can see that same level around 63.40 is right here. Okay. We have a pretty big gamma level at 64, and we have a 50% ATR right here and a 50% ATR right here. Again, like these are levels that could be filled. So I think for today, I'm not going to force a trade because the premiums here are so bad. Like I'm not excited about taking a trade for 10 wide and only getting 30 cents credit. So I'm not going to take the trade and accept 30 cents. That's $970 risk for a 30-cent trade. So if it adds up a little bit where I can get a dollar or two and I can kind of safely call those tops, then I'll take that trade for $2 and try to keep that profit. Okay, so I'm going to put these pending orders in for my daily profit play. If you're a member, you've got the trades. They might fill, they might not fill. I'm not forcing a trade today. We're already 10 for 10. It's been a good week, and I'm gonna let kind of price, come to me. Okay, the flip side, let me go here. So SPX, pending orders. I'm typing this in for the members right now. This is 8 expiration. Okay, and then SPX. Dated expiration. Okay, so we are 10 for 10 this week with DPP. I'm not going to accept the sell high probability trade with such small credit at the open. 6,400 is a solid resistance level and gamma level. So if price slowly rallies, these trades offer a nice level 1 entry to try to grab some profit for the day. Okay, so pending order, it's all in Telegram. Okay, so we'll see what happens. So right now, one trade's trading for 37 cents, one trade's trading for 25 cents. If price goes up a little bit, okay, price goes up a little bit, trying to test maybe yesterday's high around 63.88, maybe even test the 63.95 or so. These trades should get filled. I don't mind also placing a trade up here or on the same area. So let's say we opened up here. VIX is trading around 16.09. That's just over 1%. So if we have this around 1%, that's around 64.20. So if I could do like a 64.15 trade or 64.10 trade, 64.10 by 20, I'm probably going to add more contracts to kind of call that top on the day at 64.20. Okay. SK services on each. Yep. So this is a quick list of services. You want to trade with me every day income trading every day, daily profit play. You want to trade with me every week, swing trading in the indexes. You want to trade some major news events and catalysts. These trades are pretty active week in, week out. These trades are pretty active week in, week out. This is a scanner that finds me high volatility trades before they happen. This is like a volatility expansion scanner. And I take, 9,500 stocks and find like maybe 5 or 10 that are actionable. I price them out. I usually find a couple a week that I really, really like. We've had like 83% winners so far in this service. And it's like auto. I take the trade, set the take profit, walk away. Brokers close me out in a couple of weeks. It's been freaking sweet. Crash insurance. This is about protecting your portfolio, how to cost effectively hedge, out of the money puts, debit spreads, using the futures market. Project options edge. If you need some, if you need some prerequisite education, I would highly encourage you to check these out. The quick guide is a $27 course that I offer, and the full course is a $497 course that I offer. All this is education. You want to learn like my 13 favorite option strategies, trade the market up, down, sideways. Practical options is a great way to start. I have these available on a Vimeo. It's a Vimeo on demand page. If you want any service, any alert service, these are going to be all my alert services, trade trackers, things like that. Okay. Hedging the portfolio, I think, is super important. If look, this market's not going to go up forever. We know there's going to be 5 and 10% pullbacks. We know that at some point we're going to enter into a true bear market again. We know that. So, case in point, I made money in 2022 when the market was down for 9 months. Most 401ks, IRAs, hedge funds were down 10 to 20% in 2022. I was up about 21%. 2020 with the market crash, obviously it was reflexive and it was a crazy good year. 2018 of Armageddon. 2014 was a dollar crisis. 2016 was an oil crisis. Brexit happened as well. Anyway, making sure that if the market's going down, it doesn't take a lot of money to insure your portfolio. So for example, I'm risking about $500 on some of my trades that could pay me up to like $30,000 to $40,000 of insurance. I don't need to cash in on those. I'd love to, but what does that mean? If I get paid $40,000 on a hedge, that means that the market is in the tank. Like the market's in the crapper, right? So it's a little scary to see like it's a great trade, like $500 risk for $40,000 profit, but that also means that my entire portfolio is probably dealing with the battle of trying to stay, bullish, right? So, we don't really want hedges to pay us all the time. What we want hedges to pay us is in once in a while, have like a 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 30 to 1, because when it does pay us, instead of me being down, let's say 5 or 10% of drawdown, I'm down a fraction of that because I have these, really cheap but very powerful leverage hedges. Okay. And then project options edge. If you spent a lot of time with me or you like my trading style, this is where I don't hold anything back. This is the type of service where I trade exactly how I trade for myself, for my clients. It's every strategy I want to trade. It's whatever it takes. And it's a bunch of income trades. So it takes a little more buying power. I do some campaign trades. I own some shares. We sell some covered calls. We do some ratio spreads. We do some fancy stuff in here. But you can build up to that with all this education. So does this all mean buy everything? Of course not. It just means I think I've got something for everybody that fits. So if you want to start with just some education, some of my favorite option strategies, take a look at these. Okay. I also give these practical options courses away included with a lifetime update to any of these courses. So if you get Daily Profit Play and upgrade to lifetime, you'll get my practical options course, right? This is a $500 bonus on top of a course if you upgrade to lifetime. Upgrade to lifetime, I give you the full course. Upgrade to lifetime, I give you the full course. All of these courses are getting this included, okay, if you upgrade to lifetime. So I'm trying to make sure you're educated. What I think is important is you actually watch the videos. This is 13 videos, right? Or I think it's either 13 or 11 videos, but it's like 13 of my favorite strategies. And it's probably 2, 3, 4 hours of education, which might seem like a time commitment. But if you break it down lesson by lesson, trade by trade, strategy by strategy, this is why I say you can trade the market up, down, sideways. The options market is my favorite tool. I've moved millions and millions and millions of dollars into trading indexes, stocks, options, futures, crypto. Forex has now become a much smaller portfolio piece to me. I traded Forex very, very well for over a decade managing funds. And it was great. But my gosh, man, I've survived flash crashes and crazy environments. And it's just a silly market, and also the work-life balance for me of a 9:30 to 4, like an opening and closing bell versus trading a 24-hour market, 5.5 days a week is ridiculous managing money. So this to me is I'm much happier. I'm a much less stressed trader, much happier. I don't have any like crazy sleepless nights because I can trade defined risk and I've got a nice hour to hour plan, you know. So anyway, there's my kind of soft touch points for the day. Yeah, Vivek says, I don't miss waking up at 2 a.m. I'm right there with you, man. When I first started trading Forex back in the day in 2007, 2008, I traded every morning from like 2 a.m. Eastern time to noon, like a 10-hour shift of trading currencies. And it's like I was a zombie. I was good at it, but my gosh, it was exhausting. So anyway, okay. So if you're interested in any of those courses, contact our team. Support at prosperitybub.com. If you're asking in here, Deanna can probably share some of the links. Today I'm going to talk a little bit more about daily profit play. Look, my two kind of core classes, if you want to be active with me every day, get daily profit play. You want to be active with me every week, like guaranteed classes every day, every week, daily profit play, waterfall income are going to be my most active services. Okay. Between these two courses, we've logged over 400 plus wins at 90+% winners. Okay, newsbreakers, we're still averaging about 80%. Double up is around 65, 70% because it's high reward. Pinch points over 80%. Crash insurance, we're like 3 for 3, but we're probably going to take some losses. Actually take that back. I lost in August for a short-term hedge, but I lost like 250 bucks. It would have paid me 5 grand, or I'd have lost 250 bucks. Well, I lost 250 bucks, which is fine. Project Options Edge, I think I want to say like 19 for 20 right now in that service with some really solid income. So look, what you get from me is real friggin' trading. Like I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make money in these markets, and whatever service I'm running, I'm trying to trade to make money. So each service and strategy has its own little nuance, has its own specific core strategy, but the goal is let's make some money. And I mean this when I say this. If I can make money in these markets and you're following along and you've got the alerts or you've got the education, you can do it too. There's nothing that I'm doing in my trading that you can't do. Okay. Maybe a little faster at times. Maybe I process things a little bit fast. Maybe not. But there's nothing that I'm doing that you can't do. If you have the same permissions to trade options that I do, you can do all this stuff too. Okay. All right. So there you go. So where are we at for the day? Market's up just a little bit. So be it. Um, Do we hang out here? I mean, what I could look at today for Friday is, are we going up to 64? I mean, the nice thing is I could potentially put on, if I can get a 15 wide dead zone here, I might put on a similar trade to what I did yesterday. Let me have a look at this. So August 8th, flip this around. Bear call. Let's try this with a 15 wide. See if I can get 580 for this one. I'll try 590. I don't think I'm going to get filled for a 15 wide here, but let's find out. 590 not filling, 585. I'll try a 580. If it doesn't take, I'll cancel the trade. Let's try 580. Nope. That's annoying. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on that for right now. So I was looking at a trade that I did yesterday, which is like give me a dead zone box and try to get price above it or below it. But I don't like to take that type of trade for less than 580, which means I'm risking 420 to make $80 as long as price moves somewhere. And I need like a 15 point dead zone to be covered. So 15 points up in the market, 15 points down in the market. That's pretty easy to do. But I'll cancel that because I can't get filled at 580, so I'll cancel it. All right, now I'm just gonna wait and see. Ethereum's crossing 30. Oh boy, that's a new high. What have we done in crypto? Bitcoin's making a run. Ethereum, another big surge on Ethereum. Good stuff. I bought shares of this not too long ago. I took profit at 29, so it's been a couple weeks, but we're back above some highs. All good. Let's take a look at the heat map today. See what's moving and shaking right out of the gates. Right now, we about 61% of stocks advancing. Apple's finally taking a breather after like an 8% rip this week. Big announcement, they're onshoring manufacturing, probably just getting a bunch of exemptions, but we're seeing at least initially a lot of green. Okay. Are we making a run to 6,400 today? I think 6,380 is doable, which is only a few points away. 6,400 might be a bit of a stretch, but it could certainly get there. I just like the idea of fading So I started out with 64.05, right? Yep, 64.05 and 64.10. I'm looking to fade those moves. So this one is now offering about 77 cents. This is getting closer. This is not bad. So I might get filled this morning where I want to get filled at a dollar each. If I get filled for a dollar, here for a dollar, then I've got, $2 credit with a pretty high probability. Yes, I'm still risking, nine on each one, but I'm going to take that as kind of a level one because if I have to trade at the money or get better fills, I'm going to kind of manage those trades. Okay. Would it be okay closing waterfall trade 95? Yep, I say that all the time, Sean. If you need to get your buying power back on some of those trades, absolutely. If they're in, profit, then take the profit, man. Yep. Okay, let me just get my trackers updated here. All right. So just hang out and wait. 70 cents. So right now I could get about $1.10 for those two trades. I'm not going to settle for that smaller credit. Okay. If I wanted to get something filled, maybe here. I'd be pretty confident that this is going to be like the top of the day. 64.20, I think, should be the top of the day based on the VIX. So even if we started here and went up 1%, 64.20 is about the top. So let me see if I can do a 6400 by 64.20 and get filled for like $18. I'll try 1750. 1750 credit. That means we'd have to run up into like 64.20. It probably won't happen, but if it does, give me a lot of profit for like a 250 risk. So I'm going to try a $2 risk at 18 bucks. So I'm selling a 6400 call, buying the 6420. Don't get scared about the width, right? I'm selling 64, buying 6420, but I'm going to try to pull in $18 credit. So my risk on that trade is only $2, but price has to obviously go up to fill me, which hasn't happened yet. So I'm going to let that one marinate. Okay, so I'm just going to sit right now, 10 for 10 for the week, making sure that either one, if I don't get filled, no big deal. It's been a great week. Overall, just on simple one contract trades, for the fourth, I am up 965 bucks this week. It's not bad. That's always a good week. You do that every week of the year, you're making 50 grand. You know, like money's money. Look, you do the right thing in trading, you manage risk, money's coming. Like process equals profits. Okay. So the nice part about doing this every single day is you get a lot of reps and a lot of experience in just seeing how these option trades work from start to finish. That's what makes things pretty exciting. In August, and this one is dependent on going up. So what you're talking, you want me to look at trade number 95 for you, Sean? Trade number 95. Uh, so is that one in profit? Let me see. Q's, trade number 95. Yeah. I mean, it's not taking a bunch of buying power. This one only requires $325 of buying power. So I don't know if you got in heavy with contracts, but it's up about 16%. I'm looking for like a 30, 40, 50% winner on this one. Um, yeah, we'll see. But I mean, it's up. Like it's a winner, but I usually like that 30 to 50% winner. So is that the trade you're looking for? The ones that'd be more expensive for buying power would be these. This one, this one buying power wise should tie it's tying up about 800 bucks. Okay. I think we're going to get filled on maybe that bear call spread today. This one's trading for 71, 65. Come on. I mean, let's try. Should we like 63.85? Let's see if we, I mean, might as well encourage the Bulls right now. If I want to get filled, I want to cheer the Bulls on a little bit more. Get me filled at my dollar or two credit, and I've got good levels in. And from there, I think we should be good. What's the target credit? Well, if I took in here, let's have a little lesson here. We got some time. So here's another hypothetical. Okay, 6400 sell call, 6420 buy call. Okay, you can answer. Yeah, I'll post that in the for the alerts. This is $20 wide. Agree? $20 wide bear call spread. But I'm asking the broker to accept a 18 wide credit, or I'm sorry, $18 credit. That'd be my max profit, which means the $2 remainder is my max risk. Now, how does that trade get filled? That trade is only going to get filled if price literally rallies to 64.20 and then it gets filled, which is fine. Like honestly, if price is going to go up today to 64.20 and I get filled for 18 bucks, my favorite way of this, the favorite part about this trade would be if this thing gets filled, if I'm at a break even would be 64.18. How do I get that break even? How do I get that break even at 64.18? I have my sell call and I add the $18 credit to it. So 64.18 is my break even. So if we closed on the SPX today at 64.17, 64.16, 64.15, 64.14, for every 1 point below this, it's a $100 profit, right? So if we closed at 63.10 today, this trade is going to make me $800 and I'm only risking $2 on the entire trade. So if price were to hit 64.20 and drop all the way to 63.60 for whatever reason, I'd make $1,800 on the trade for only risking 200 bucks. So it's a great reward to risk trade, but right now it's low probability because price hasn't moved up high enough to get that fill. Okay. But when I'm calculating out my highs and lows, this is why I'm saying in the daily profit play masterclass I did this week, this is why you should have daily profit play because you'll see that this game plan gives me an idea of how I can trade every single day. Okay, for some income. A lot of what I do for the day is like I'm going to test some trades for some, high probability income, but I'm going to have a backup plan in case prices ultimately do test these levels because pulling in $1 for a $9 risk is not a great trade. On paper, it's not a great trade, but the probability is there. We shouldn't necessarily close above 64.05 today. We shouldn't necessarily close above 64.20 today, but we can certainly test those levels, which means I'm taking on a risk all day. Make sense? Okay. So, I mean, realistically, we're trading at 82 cents now for trade number one. We're trading at 55 cents for trade number two. So if this one gets filled, it's like I can still make 100 bucks on the day as long as price stays below 64.05. If this one gets filled, same type of thing. I can still make 100 bucks on the day. So I don't know. I have a feeling that this 64.05 by 15 might get filled today. It's trading at 90 cents right now. If price goes up another maybe 3 to 5 points, this one probably gets filled, which is good for a trade one. I'll accept that that's a good trade one. Okay. And the VIX is going lower. So you might be thinking like, well, Chris, why don't you just take a bull put spread and hold that all day? Well, because what if we go up for the day and then come all the way back down? You're just taking on risk, you know? So I'm just going to let price come to me today. Tesla crossing 332. All right, we got some fresh highs on Tesla right now. All right, so in the alerts, yeah, I'll post that trade. SPX, pending order. This is going in daily profit alerts. 80 expiration. Okay. And right now, what's price doing directionally? It's been up for 27 straight minutes, right? Started out with a gap higher and it's higher, 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 higher. So the way price is moving, it's just trying to grind, and that's fine. Like trying to grind directionally for a day, that's okay. So Are we going to get filled at the $1 credit? It's trading for 80 cents right now. Time will tell. We push up a little bit higher, we should get filled. So Bill, that one's posted in your alerts. So right now for my daily profit alerts, I have 3 pending orders. Okay, I'm letting price come to me today. Let's see here. Uh, good. Okay, Sean, I got you. Okay, yep, all good, Bill. Nice. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna wait and see if price gets filled. If we go up another maybe 3 to 5 points, that first bear call spread should get filled. And I'm looking at using these two levels today. If I want to be a bit more aggressive, I could probably do. I might try this trade actually. I might get a little bit more aggressive here. 6,400. Oops. So 6,400 by 6,410. That's another sell level. Yep. Nope, I need to go 15. So 15's a buy and 20's a buy. So I can go 6,400 by 15, try to get this trade filled for maybe 1250. I'll go 10 to 1250 on this one, possibly. So I'm just going to let these marinate. These might not fill at all. I'm going to go 13 bucks. So if I get filled for 13, I'm only risking $2 to make, 1,300 bucks. So see if these take. And on, let's go 5, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a couple pending orders. I see that from Dave. I got your testimonial on, yeah, that video I posted yesterday. Uh, Carter was not really loving the 4 screens in front of his face. He got a little antsy. That's funny. Okay. So while we are waiting, trade number one is pending at $1. It's trading for 90 cents right now. This one might get filled in the next few minutes if we just keep melting up a little bit higher. That is okay by me. The other one's trading for about 55 to 60 cents, same type of thing. If I get $1 and $1, that gives me $2 potential profit on the day with a fairly high probability that we stay below 64.05 and 10. Just got filled for $1, by the way. So trade number one has been updated. So I'm going to edit this. The 64.05 by 15 is now filled. Okay, so DPP update. I'm putting this all in Telegram right now. SPX, 88 expiration, 64.05, 64.15, dollar credit, filled. Okay, that trade is open. So now I can put this officially in the tracker. We're up to trade 977. My gosh, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be over 1,000 trades for the service. I'll take it. Center price is around 63.75. Okay, so plan on that trade to be we don't get above 64.05, and I'm going to try to keep 100 bucks of that trade. But I have plan B, which is the 64.10 for another dollar. And then I have the higher credit trades to kind of bail me out. This one offers me $1,800 profit. This one offers me $1,300 profit. If price is going to hit my VIX levels today and we're going to stretch above and try to test last week's highs, these should be pretty good trades. Okay, so we'll see what price does. But I'll keep an eye on this for the morning. Yep, they're already posted. They're posted for members. So look, you come into these free sessions, I'm talking shop, I'm placing trades, I'm looking at other services. If you want the trades, you just have to be a member of these services. It's not that hard, right? You're trading with me for like years. If you upgrade, there's like second and third years for pennies on the dollar. There's lifetime upgrades. You can have these courses. So, look, you want to trade with me with the trades I'm placing all day, every day, all year long. Be a member of one of my services. You know. All right. Sean says 115 out of 75. Good stuff. Yeah, 34%. Love it. Was that waterfall or was that for today, Sean? Did you do a little daily prop play today? So 64, that would be the 05 to 15. And I'm going to take another 05 to 15. Waterfall. Nice, dude. Okay, so I'm going to do another 05 to 15 for this one. If we go up, I'm going to try to get filled in this one for $9 credit, which again may not fill, but I'm going to try it. Okay, let me check on one thing here, make sure I have some pending orders. Pending, pending, pending. Yep. All right, good. I don't have a fourth trade, Dan. I have three. I'm going to post this one right now. So this will be one is filled, two more pending, and I just added another trade here, adding another pending order, SPX 88 expiration. I'm just going to resell the 6405 call and a 6415 call, but this time I'm going to go after a $9 credit. This is a backup trade for much higher credit and low risk. Okay. That second trade for $1 is trading for 80 cents. So we keep trying to get to like 63.90, 6400. Both these trades might fill for $1. So I'm in one trade right now. I'm in one live trade. All right. And this market is just melting up all flipping day. Melt up, melt up, melt up. These are the highs from last week. Last week highs at 64.27. VIX has retreated very nicely to the downside. Okay, again, based on this calculation, we shouldn't see the VIX allowing price to go too much higher than about 1%. And I'm starting this not just at the close from yesterday. Okay, the close from yesterday, 1% puts us up around right around 6,400 today, 6,403. That's from yesterday's close. If I go to the open today, we push up 1%. Now we're talking about a 64, anywhere between 64.15, 64.20 as far as the high goes on the day. So I'll be patient and I'll pick my battles. So Dr. Barnes going to take profit. If I'm filled for $1 on that trade, the second trade might get filled at $1. I'm only 2 cents away. Price pushes up. I mean, come on, you got room to get to like 63.90. I think this trade gets filled too. The goal is for that $2 of total credit. If I can turn that into $100 profit, then I'll just take it. If I can take at least 50% of the profit, I'll take it. Well, here's a good thing, Sean. VIX has some calculation. The Fed speakers say, what happens if the Fed speakers today make the markets drop? What happens if the market drops today? Well, I'm selling tops. So if the VIX goes up, price goes down, I get some good profit today, right? So we'll see. But this is another, pretty challenging, like directionally neutral day because we opened around, see, 40 to 50. I mean, we opened up around 10 points. We're pushing a little bit higher. And, yesterday's highs around 90, round number at 64. Previous highs from last week, Thursday, 64.27. But based on the VIX retreating all day. All right, second trade just got filled, so I'm in two trades now. Daily profit play is in on two trades. Updating in Telegram now. 64.10. Type in notes right now for the trade. 64.05, 64.10, 64.20. Resistance levels hold. Okay, so I'll put the second trade in the tracker, and then I want to start talking a little bit more daily profit play. So just give me 60 seconds here. Okay, so I'm in for potentially $2 credit today with a pretty high probability that we just stay below 6,400 today. So if it's a melt up this morning that ends up stalling and fading, we make money. If it's a level that hits resistance and fades, we make money. If I have to trade my way through some higher levels and better fills, I'm still planning on winning the day. Okay. So this trade I'm going to cancel. Because we had the 10 by 20 get filled, I'm going to take a 10 by 20 for $8.50 pending. I'll add this one. Let me try this. 2, 3, 4. So a 10 by 20. I'll put this one out there. I like this trade. Okay. Yep. So I'm going to do this instead. I'll post this in alerts. I know there's a lot going on in the alerts today. Modifying trade. I'm changing this trade to the following. Okay. Update in Telegram. Okay, here's the deal. While this all unfolds and continues, now that the trades are in, I'm just kind of watching. I got two trades filled for a dollar each. Plan for the day is hopefully making 200 bucks credit. Or like yesterday, I had $2.05 was my max credit, and about an hour and a half into the day, I was up, 190 of those dollars. I just took the profit. That was a great win. So kind of the same thing today. If price ends up falling back down, I'll set a chart alarm here. If price ends up giving back some of this movement today, then I'm going to see where these are trading at, right? Like if price falls back down to today's opening or falls back down to fill the gap, then that $2 credit should be trading for, I don't know, I'd guess maybe 50 cents a debit, something like that. So if I can pull at least $100 out of the day, I'm going to take the profit. Okay. David, you should be able to do the math on that and find out. What do you think? If I'm in a 64.10 by 64.20 and I want $9 credit, where does price probably have to hit today? Price probably has to hit 64.19. Exactly. Yep. So if it's 62.19, 62.20 probably gets filled. Okay. And again, I've kind of done the calculations like that should be the top on the day. Sean, the 15 wide, I probably did like a 1350 credit on that one. Yeah. So it's 15 wide and I'm doing a 13 credit. So I mean, again, this one, these are unlikely going to get filled, but if they do get filled, it's kind of my backup plan to keep me with a high reward, low risk trade in the day. Okay. Again, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go into talk some daily profit play. Okay. If you jump into my daily profit play service and you're a member, you watch the core strategy video and you go into your classroom, watch the master class, all this stuff is explained. Okay. And this is the stuff I'm doing now every single day. Right. Okay. So on that note, I'm going to talk a little bit more here today. We got two trades in, two trades active. Obviously, I'm live trading as I'm doing this segment here. So bear with me if I see some bells and whistles going off my broker platform. I'm going to check that. I've got that stuff going on in the background. But let's do this. Okay. So we have over 900 trades that have been taken in daily profit play. We're still maintaining 90+% winners. The last streak we've had, we're 10 for 10 this week. I'm hoping we can make it 12 for 12 because I'm in two trades right now. Like, if you like the idea of grinding day by day, and I say grind, it's like, look, you place the trades, you define the risk, my work is done. Like, literally today, I'd like to get on the road in a couple hours and post a couple of videos, and like, my work is done. I know that the profit potential is there, I know the probability is there, and I'm comfortable with everything I've done today. Like, we don't have to sit in front of the charts all day. But what I'm going to talk about here is roughly risking about $1,000 risk for about $100 a day in income. Now, I can also make it so it's less risk to higher reward or less risk to the same reward, as we talked about a little bit more today. So the blanket strategy is if we put about $1,000 at risk every single day, actively trading, we have a very high probability of winning about 100 bucks a day. Okay. And we've had a lot of these trades over the course of this last year. We're going on almost a year of the service with a ton of happy members. Okay. So for the last 7 months, you probably heard me say that this is a news driven market. And I think that when we say news, it's one man above all who drives this news. This guy is a huge influence